Logan Township School District is a small district in southern New Jersey that is composed of 3 schools that serves approximately 800 children in grades pre-K to 8. Logan Elementary School, where I'll be working, serves 2nd grade to 5th grade. The elementary school employs about 25 certified staff members. Administrators involved with the elementary school include the principal, the supervisor of student services, the supervisor of curriculum, and the superintendent. The district strives to remain on the cutting edge of technology and has recently adopted a new teacher evaluation system and has converted the curriculum to align with the Common Core standards. Hello and welcome to a new school year. I am Laura Flynn and I'm the new Assistant Principal of Curriculum and Instruction here at Logan Elementary School. I am so excited to be here working with you and have 1,000 new ideas and tons of new changes in store for you. Just kidding, just a little icebreaker. I know that Logan Elementary has a reputation for excellent teaching, so I can't wait to get into the classrooms and learn more about you through that experience. While I'm in there, I have some things that I'll be looking for as they are considered to be some of the classics for effective teaching and learning. I'm looking for a solid classroom community. The classroom over the school year should develop into a social and learning community. The type of classroom environment that you create and encourage should be conducive to increasing your students' abilities. As you foster cooperation and acceptance, students should feel comfortable as a member of the class. And if the relationship between you and your students is good, then everything else that occurs in your classroom will be enhanced. So when I'm in there, I'd like to see a friendly environment with humor, children smiling, you smiling, and that you're constantly communicating that repeated team mentality message. I want to see that you know enough about the children that you are able to bring their interests and into the content and personalized learning activities. And I want to see reinforcement and recognition of effort. In the classroom, I'm also looking for student-centered learning. Teachers in classrooms that are student-centered teach students how to think, solve problems, evaluate evidence, analyze arguments, and generate hypotheses. All of those learning skills that are essential to mastering the material. Teachers are drawing on students' experiences, coaching students towards finding answers, modeling throughout thoughtful processing, modeling thought processes rather than presenting facts, and validate students' suggestions. What I hope I don't see are teachers presenting facts without context, doing the majority of the talking, directing students' every move, supplying most of the answers, and not discussing thought processes out loud. I want to talk to you a little bit about learning goals. Yes, I know, learning goals, again, really, that's all we're talking about. It's true, they are being emphasized a lot lately, and there's a reason for that. There's just a ton of educational research that consistently reinforces the crucial importance of clear and manageable learning goals for students. And that it is one of the instructional practices that has the greatest impact on student learning and achievement. So, for your review, when you are planning your lessons, consider what learning goals will be at the heart of the lesson and how these goals might be explicitly stated and visible. Students should have access to the learning goals, and the different elements of a task or project should be closely tied to improving student understanding of those goals. And the goals should be general and not too specific. So in the instruction in the classroom, I want to see that you're teaching for understanding. There are many ways to foster students' deep understanding of subject matter, such as relating new learning to prior knowledge by helping students interact with new knowledge, and incorporating higher order critical thinking skills. So when thinking about students really understanding and learning, we need to think about mastery learning. And I want to make sure that we're on the same page regarding the real definition of mastery learning. Because one thing that it's not is not the recall of isolated skills. So that mastery really hasn't happened if a child has only learned skills and facts. When envisioning mastery learning, it's important to keep the whole learning goal in mind, and that the child has the learning goal so well mastered that he or she can use or transfer that knowledge in authentic performance activities. So maybe things to consider when you're planning for authentic understanding and deep understanding of learning. Questions you may ask yourself are, what is worth knowing about this topic? Or what do I want students to get better at through this task? How will the goals of this task connect to broader goals for the unit or over the year? What learning activities will I plan that are directed toward building deep understanding of the key learning outcomes? And another question could be, what habits of critical thinking will the students practice during the task? So, a real good way to implement a good, authentic understanding, deep understanding of learning is through problem-solving learning experiences. So in the classroom, I would like to see these problem-solving learning experiences. It's a great way that you can use the curriculum, which can, some of the things can be a little dry sometimes, so you can use it in a way that engages students and that they work together to solve real-world problems in the schools and communities and develop not only problem-solving skills, but other skills such as research skills, social skills. These activities engage learners, enhance retention, and help establish a model for lifelong learning. If we want to know that knowledge is sticking, then we need to have an understanding that students are thinking critically and that they're not just regurgitating knowledge. So, the focus when you're doing these problem solving activities, the focus could be on very real, very local problems in the neighborhood or the school community. This way the students will see the fruits of their labor and develop a sense of accomplishment. You may take a walk through your school grounds or the surrounding neighborhood to identify suitable problems, say like a flower bed that is not living up to its potential, or an ongoing litter problem. Even better, ask the students to identify the problems. What I would like to talk about now is the fact that I know as a former special education teacher that the classrooms now more than ever have a wide variety of students with different needs, and that you are expected to meet the needs of all of these students, which can be a very difficult job sometimes. So I want to see that there's some evidence in your planning and in your instruction that you've taken into account these needs and have provided some differentiated instruction strategies. So some examples of differentiated strategies that support differentiated instruction are the use of stations. If you have any workstations in your classroom, I'd be interested in seeing how flexible you are with them, meaning are the activities the same day to day, or are you changing them up? Are the same students going for the same amount of time, or are you changing that up as well? Another strategy that you might want to think about are individual agendas. These are personalized tasks lists for students to complete independently, which allows you the opportunity to work with other students on a more individual level. And then centers, of course, would be another great strategy to help with meeting the needs in small group instruction. But I'm interested in also seeing if you have not only learning centers, but interest-based centers as well. Interest-based centers can be used to incorporate the different strengths of different students, and then also help to provide some more motivation for some students that are difficult or reluctant. I want to talk a little bit about assessment. With regards to assessment, I would like to see students provided with opportunities for ongoing reflective assessments, such as keeping a portfolio or keeping records of their learning. I'm also interested in the use of formative assessments, as they provide valuable information on what students are expected to learn, identify what they've learned well, and describe what they need to learn better. Formative assessments vary in form depending on the subject area, the grade level, and the learning outcomes, and they could be, examples could be like short quizzes, written assignments, oral presentations, skill demonstrations, exit slips, or performances. In essence, performance assessments are any device teachers use to gather evidence of student learning, and are very effective for you as you develop other lessons to address those need areas. One of my favorite authors, researchers, is Daniel Willingham. He's a professor of psychology at the University of Virginia and has published a ton of books and articles on how students learn. The most recent research on memory shows that administering brief, low-stakes quizzes and then providing immediate corrective feedback is a very effective strategy for promoting long-lasting memory. Even if the students don't remember all the answers on the quiz, it still is effective and helpful. So, in the classroom, I would like to also see cooperative learning opportunities. I know that's also something that's been around for a while, and there's the same reason for the learning goals. It's very effective. Cooperative learning strategies that are effective are keeping groups small. Don't overuse this strategy. Be systematic and consistent in your approach. And when grouping students, consider a variety of criteria such as common experience or interests, and varying the group sizes and objectives. Designing group work around the core components of cooperative learning, which are, promoting positive interdependence, group processing, appropriate use of social skills, face-to-face interaction, and individual and group accountability. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is homework and practice. I think it's important to provide opportunities to extend learning outside of the classroom. And so establishing a homework policy, such as keeping a consistent schedule and timeline, and making sure assignments are based relevant to grade level, are important. Tell students if homework is for practice or preparation for upcoming units. And maximize the effectiveness of your feedback by varying the way it is delivered. Make sure that focus your practice and homework on difficult concepts. So, I gave you a lot of information about what I'll expect from you. I have a little bit of what you can expect from me this year. I wanted to talk to you briefly about the district's mission statement and beliefs and values. I read them on the website. It's great that they're stated there and available to the public. I was thinking that it might be a good idea to take another look at them and decide whether we want to add or change anything about them. Your feedback on this is critical, so I thought I'd get the ball rolling and have you answer this statement. I want you to identify 5 promises that you make to students. So I'll be setting up times to meet with you, all of you, on an individual basis so that we can get a chance to know each other a little bit better. And then when you come to the meeting, please bring your 5 promises so we can discuss them as well. I eventually then want to compile the most common promises mentioned and present them to you at the October faculty meeting, so we can discuss whether these can be added to the district's mission as Logan Elementary School's vision for this year. Another focus of mine will be on the district's curriculum revision and evaluation procedures. Ongoing curriculum revision and evaluation is necessary, especially because curriculum assessment can serve several major purposes to identify aspects of curriculum that are working and those that need to change, to assess the effectiveness of changes that have already been made, and to demonstrate the effectiveness of the current program. So I'll be looking for volunteers to form a team to assess the curriculum's effectiveness so that we can create processes to ensure that the teaching and learning in the content areas is helping students achieve. The team would meet on an ongoing basis, with the first meeting early in the year to review data to determine if minor adjustments to the curriculum need to be made. And the last meeting would be in the spring, with the goal of this meeting being that we would share the progress and updates regarding the initiatives identified throughout the year, with the focus on making decisions based on student achievement data. And lastly, I just want you to know that if you are ever feeling overwhelmed, or if you have any questions about any of the selected methods or programs, and that if you decide to share with me the truth about how you're feeling, you nor your teaching will ever be judged. I'm a good listener, and I will do my best to provide time for us to discuss concerns. I believe that it is important to share ideas on how to address problems or concerns, and then to develop some sort of planned form of action so that we can make attempts at solving issues. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your attention and so look forward to working with you this year.